Wow, that's a big question.
Yeah, it is.
The most important aspect. I think it's been very interesting actually seeing the presentations and the different discussions today, and for me the thing that stood out is this concept of integration and being embedded, that actually the only way you can really be successful in communicating about sustainability or green issues is if you've really embedded it in your organisation and you're living it, and then the communication is much more genuine, it's much more honest, and it works. If you don't do that, then that's when the risks arise.
Mhm.
Well, transparency is a really fundamental aspect of a sustainability approach. I mean, you cannot really do sustainability unless you are transparent about how you approach it. And that comes from a number of different angles. Transparency isn't just a sustainability issue. If you look at the nature of our economy at the moment, one of the fundamental problems with the economy and why we had the financial crisis was a lack of transparency in the financial system. People didn't know what they were dealing with, and we ended up in the horrible situation we were in. So transparency really is fundamental to how an organisation behaves in order for people to be able to understand, for instance, whether to invest in that organisation or not, and really get underneath the skin of the glossy annual report or nice communications programme that's going on. I think the important aspect of stakeholders is that they are inextricably a part of the company's ecosystem, if you like. They're part of the world that an organisation lives in, and organisations that can understand their needs and expectations and work with them, identify new ways of doing things, and work with them to deliver those new ways, are in the long run going to be much more successful than ones that try and plough their own furrow and come up against different expectations of stakeholders that they aren't prepared to deal with, and that generally leads to crises rather than positive outcomes. That's a really interesting question. It's kind of hard to say because so much of it's in Dutch. So my impression is that it's making people think. It's giving them food for thought. So I don't know if at the end of today you would actually get necessarily a really clear idea of what people are going to go away and do with it. But I think it started additional thought processes about maybe the new ways we need to think about this. There's all these ideas I've seen today. How can I use them in my organisation? So I think it'll take time for that to come through, but definitely I think it's provided lots of interesting ideas and case studies that people can take away and consider how it's going to work for them in the future. I think the first thing to say was I was really impressed that you'd organised it at all. It's a big task to take on. I think you've done a fantastic job, I really do. We organise a number of events, never anything this big, and I know how much work that is, so I think you've done a great job. For me, it's run totally smoothly, from the tickets and getting here through to a delicious meal that you organised last night. And today I haven't seen any hiccups at all, so it's been a joy. Yeah, really good.
Thank you.